Okay, this is the 65-gallon tank that is normally the lion tank. The only lion left in here is the one Foo. Again, looking pretty healthy. Sorry about the glass, it's kind of yucky, but that's the way it goes. But this one is actually in pretty good shape. He's looking pretty good. And the only other fish in here is a filefish, and of course it's my crazy purple plating sponge that grows like a weed. Purple seems to be the color I can grow. Then unfortunately the lights are going out in this tank. Yes, I got those fancy dancy plates, but as you can see, this is my bird's nest that died. I gotta take it out. Haven't figured it out. And the colony next to it was getting touched by it of, yeah, whatchamacallem, brain nut, Posleopora. So it's kind of fading, but there's other stuff that's doing well in here. It's growing just fine. Some LPS, SPS, this thing grows like a weed. I guess it does it in everybody's tank. And then we've got this NEM, a couple of naked clowns in it. This guy's not happy, I'm not sure. I might need to move him, I'm not sure if it's what it is. But yes, there's plenty of healthy fish in here. There's one of my cleaner wrasses. Cleaner shrimp. There's, oh, they don't like the light, I don't think, so they're running away from me taking pictures. But the fish in this tank are fine. There's plenty of LPS that are growing just fine. There's the chevron tang. He's a happy fellow. They're all crowding around, looking like they're wondering what the red light is. So they're all doing fine. Got a couple of Bellis angels that are doing fine. So overall, got a pretty good group of fish in here. They get along well. There's a mandarin that's fat and happy in this tank. I don't know where he is right now. But yeah, there's a cardinal. So, Bengai. So there's fish in here that are doing just fine. So then we go downstairs to the basement system. Heading down the stairs into the basement. Now, both of the tanks upstairs obviously drop down into this tank here. And so one half of the tank collects stuff, and it's also got the pellets running on it. It's got UV. And then on this end of the tank is my geriatric tank. So that purple tang is 10 years old, as are some of the clownfish. Now, this pair of clownfish are 10 years old, and they just laid eggs in this tank. They are eating them. The eggs are kind of funky, but I never planned on breeding them. And this is the purple sponge that actually lived through. This tank had about 3 inches of water in it, and nothing has died in this tank. So it's pretty amazing that all of this was out of the water under this metal halide light. The other thing that's back here is, let me grab a light so you can actually see, this is the 75-gallon tank that is the return for upstairs. There's one pump that returns everything upstairs. So this has got a lot of the macroalgae died in this tank after the crash. This tank was also only about 3 inches deep. And, you know, there's a fair amount of different types of algae growing throughout the system, which, I don't know, it seems pretty normal to me. So, then there's my big skimmer. This is my water changing tank, so I just empty this out and refill it. It actually goes to a sump pump in the corner. It's my calcium reactor. This pump actually feeds the skimmer, my calcium reactor, and my GFO and carbon, which is down here. This tank feeds this tank, which was my angler tank. And right now I've just got this Halimata is growing like a lunatic in this tank. And then also, this is just a huge, huge fox coral. And I put the mollies in this tank, but there's not many of them left. They kind of ended up littered through the system. So this is the whole system. This is the 400-gallon system. So then we've got the quarantine tank, which is over here. It's a, oh, and of course there's my RO, there's my mixing barrel, and there's my top-off barrel. So this is about a 30-gallon tank. It's got an Eheim Pro on it, and it's also got an Aqua Clear that's rated for a 70-gallon tank. And then there's air going into this tank as well, as you can see. So here's the Fuzzy. Again, he's still gilling. He doesn't look like his condition has changed a whole lot in the time he's been in the quarantine tank. Trying to get you a good picture of him. See if I can get it clear. His color, it's not great, but it's not horrible either. But you can see how much he's struggling to breathe. The other Foo is back here. I'm trying to see if I can get a good picture of her. She actually, her color has improved tremendously. Let's see if I can get a good picture. Her breathing isn't too bad. She actually appears to be doing better, and she has eaten. So I'm not as worried about her. Out of the 3 fish, I really believe she'll make it. I'm trying to see if I can get a picture of her side where you can see where the color kind of went off, but I'm not getting a great picture where you can see it. But again, her color has improved dramatically. And you can see that the interesting thing about these fish is, beyond the fact that they're gilling and they're you know, not eating, they can be very responsive. And then I'm not going to be able to show you the wrasse. The wrasse is hiding in here. He's also, oh, is he still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. He's breathing pretty hard. He's the same way. Physically, you know, his color is off. Obviously, his activity's off. I've never seen a wrasse sit this still ever in my life. So, you know, I'm not real happy. I put some clips and tried to feed him with some algae on it, and tried to feed him a couple of times. He's not having much of it. So, that's the system. Of course, these guys are separated by a piece of egg crate. They're not moving around, so I'm not terribly worried about them all being in this tank. And the water quality seems to be fine. I try to leave the meds in and not do a water change, although on day 4 or 5 this week, let's see, today is Wednesday, it's day 3 with the Prazi Pro. Tomorrow or Friday I will do a water change, and then I will redose the Prazi Pro. I don't know if you can see the Foo, but you can see the discoloration on her side a little bit maybe now in this picture. I've had the glasses a little dirty, but let's see if I can, you can see a little bit of discoloration right behind, well, about halfway down her body. Maybe you can see it. So this is the condition of the fish, and this is the system that they're in. So there you go, video.